Boer Remodeling has got you covered. Their 5-step design process is going to make sure you get everything you've always wanted. It makes sure they're dotting all the I's, crossing all the T's, getting your vision down pat, and then building it to perfection, whether it's that outdated kitchen or you need more space, whether it's taking that basement and taking it from this dumping station to an actual part of the house, or turning your bathroom into that spa kind of feel. Boer Remodeling, if it's inside your 4 walls, they're the only call to make. BOOHER for over 2 decades, taking care of Central Indiana with incredible craftsmanship. The people they have on their team, on their staff, they're the ones who keep coming back year after year after year, rebuilding Indianapolis, rebuilding Central Indiana. They've got the most skilled craftsmen, as I said, the best materials, and they deliver quality work on time with a service-oriented attitude, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling. 852-5546 or online at Boer. BOOHER. BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's a story you need to hear to believe, then grab your popcorn, because there is more. I've got so very much to get to with the popcorn moment, and I don't want to oversaturate certain subjects. Certainly, there is still conversation regarding Joe Biden's mental decline and how the media covered it up, and they are desperate to say it wasn't me, but it was. But I think the decline we have to worry about is MSNBC's. This is Simone Sanders trying to say Joe Biden is not the problem. Donald Trump, it's his mental state we have to worry about, whether he's fully capable and cogent. And this is how I did not speed this up. I did not alter the audio in any way, shape, or form. This is the new star of MSNBC with Michael Steele. This is Simone Sanders, who was there. She was part of Bernie Sanders' campaign in 2016, a longtime Democrat operative. Now she's got a show with Michael Steele. Can't make this up, guys. Wouldn't know how.
The bar is so low. This man, the oldest man, everybody want to talk about age? We're going to talk about Joe Biden? The oldest man to ever be president cannot bother himself with our nation's secrets, with the intel. I have to ask who's actually making the decisions. Who is actually running the country? Everybody wants to say Joe Biden wasn't running the country. I know for a fact he not only read his presidential daily brief, he was engaged in the meeting, he asked questions, and he gave directives. Donald Trump won't even bother to read the iPad.
Well, especially when this.
What? Nobody knows what she said. If I've listened to this a couple of times now, and what she seems to have said is Joe Biden was fully engaged, but nobody knows if Donald Trump reads the presidential daily brief. Broken. And part of the reason why they don't have viewers, part of the reason why people have no interest in the Democratic Party. This story by Nate Silver, this breakdown, is something else. Why young men don't like Democrats. Very interesting stuff. This is data-driven. And the data-driven answer is that Democrats are a bunch of neurotic freaks, and who the hell wants to be around this? Now, we have discussed this, as you may have discussed this, right? I don't think that somehow we're too far off on the reasons, the rationale for why young men have no interest in the Democratic Party. People like Joy Behar and The View want to say it's sexism, and the answer has always been, well, then figure out how to fix that. Their answer is, well, teach men how not to be sexist. You understand that if Joy Behar was teaching men how not to be sexist, it would end up looking like Malcolm McDowell in Clockwork Orange. That's absolutely what she would do because, well, she's tyrannically ignorant in this, that she refuses to accept the fact that the issue is the Democratic Party. If somebody is a sexist, they're a sexist. Maybe they'll come to things on their own time. But to decide that all men are sexist because they won't vote for Kamala Harris was a bad choice. She's a dumb woman, incapable of doing the job. The end. Pick better people. Well, we picked Hillary Clinton. Allow me to repeat myself. Pick better women. Pick better candidates overall. I finally heard someone discussing something we've been discussing since the beginning when it comes to the Democratic convention for who they're going to pick for president. The only person you should be looking at and be concerned by is Wes Moore, the governor of Maryland. I'm on the record already. I'm telling you right now, Wes Moore is going to give any Republican a very strong run for their money. Very strong. Now, he can blow it all up, sure. I mean, any Democrat can, just like any Republican can. But he's the guy to look at. They've picked terrible female candidates thus far. That's not our fault. But you look at these young men, and you look at what it is that they see. I don't doubt that some of Democrats' problem with young men is that they're seen as what in the poker world we'd call nits, neurotic, risk-averse sticklers for the rules, always up in everyone's business. Now, regardless of your politics, would we deny the truth of that? Because it would be weird to deny the truth of that. The Democratic Party are people who are always looking for something to be wrong and everybody to be wrong. We have discussed this in many ways. If you wake up in the morning saying, who has aggrieved me today and how have they aggrieved me? In order to fulfill your own spiraling fantasy, you have to be aggrieved and someone has to have aggrieved you. You must fulfill the fantasy to get through the day. And then the next day you must do it again. How else do you prove your bona fides? Well, that's how we've discussed it. I think it's okay just to say they're neurotic and nobody wants to be around that stuff. They don't want to be around that at all. Democrats don't talk about the issues that young men want to talk about. They don't talk about young men. All they talk about is how much they hate and despise young men. And it turns out that young men actually want to be men. Not beta males, men, which is a good thing. It's a valuable thing. It's an important thing. And it's one of the reasons why I take a look at Gen Z and I say this is a generation of promise. These guys, they remind me of Gen X. They can turn the corner. They can make this work. The millennials, I think that's over. Sorry. But I met plenty of millennials who are good people who work hard, etc. Gen Z has real promise because they've seen what's going on. They're like, all these people are dumb. Can we just be left alone? Which is fantastic. So now we go back to Simone Sanders there on MSNBC. Who's watching that? You can't attract an audience with that kind of talk. You know who's watching that? College-educated liberal white women who, as we know, are the worst. If you want to send hate mail, make sure to send that to Nigel at WIBC.com. Matt Bear has